grow your base, right? You're looking for traction. You're looking to grow your customer base. You're looking to grow revenue, income, etc. What are some of the things you can do, practically speaking, as a marketer that will let you grow from zero to hero fairly quickly? Let's say within 90 days, to start seeing some significant impact. Well, you can always start with, and should start with, one of the things in your initial plan, which is organic marketing. Right, that's the long, slow process, but you're going to see initial impact usually within 3 to 6 months. It can be faster, but 3 to 6 months is where your organic and SEO will start to make a significant, or an impact. And by the end of year one, it should be significant impact, and it should even be one of your main revenue generators. And then you have paid advertising, which again can be massively important and drive tons of revenue to your business relatively quickly if you have the right kind of product for sale or the right kind of service for sale, and you run your ads on highly relevant networks where people are actually likely to convert, whether that's Facebook ads or Google ads. Very often it's good to retarget on those networks, but not always. It really depends on the use and the purpose, again, of the ads. Like, are you selling a direct-to-consumer product, or a B2B product, or a B2B2C, or a B2C2B? Whatever your model is, remember, it's going to affect heavily what ad networks you will be most effective on and what kind of advertising you should be running, whether it's brand awareness, direct sales, pre-order sales, sponsorship, if you're looking for sponsorships, or if you're looking for any kind of whatever, you're looking for donations if you're running a charity. So always bear in mind the product or service you're actually selling as a marketer to affect the messaging that you're carrying out in your marketing messaging, in your ads, etc., because that will directly impact what you are going to use as a paid channel outlet, right? Maybe you want to be running, also paid ads effectively in an organic sense with influencer marketers, right? It appears organic, or it even may be organic, but you might be paying them anyway. You basically want to generally give them pointers, but not exact phrases to say, because you want them to speak, in their own tone of voice to carry the message that fits best with their audience. And generally speaking, not always, but generally speaking, nano influencers, that is influencers with, anywhere under like 10,000 or so people in their audience. In some places it's up to 5,000, but roughly up to 10,000 people in their audience. They generally convert very high rates compared to micro influencers, which are, from like 10,000 to like 100,000 or so. And then key opinion leaders are, they also convert very well, but generally speaking, the smaller the size of the audience, the better it will actually have in terms of conversion rate. It's just that you have to do more of those deals in order to get the highest impact value from them. And depending on the size of your budget and your time and your runway and all that, it may, behoove you to start with nano influencers, or it may behoove you to start with a slightly larger audience size, like micro influencers, so that you can, get a bigger bang right out the starting gate. Although you may miss some of the, a little bit of the conversion rate. Depending on which platform and which marketplace you use, they're generally fairly close in terms of conversion rates. So it may just save you some time to skip right to the micro influencers and key opinion leaders before you move on up to regular size, larger influencers of like over 100,000 people in their audience. Regular influencers are also very good, right? Regular influencers, 100,000 or more, right? They're also very good in terms of conversion rates, quality, all that stuff. They're very, very valuable if you find the right ones to partner with that are on topic, and they can carry the message of your brand very well in a natural way that fits the interest of their audience. Don't shy away from the bigger influencers of 100,000 or more, or 1 million or more, larger influencers, because they will still deliver pretty good, substantial conversion rates if the messaging is placed well during their drop, whether that's a video on YouTube or Instagram or Facebook or whatever platform they're using, right? Make sure that they're communicating your message in a way that conveys the key messaging points you want to convey, but again, in their tone of voice, right? Sometimes they like to get product samples. Sometimes they just want, more money instead of that. It depends on the influencer and depends on the deal. And of course, it depends on your product or your service, right? If you have a product or service that doesn't fit, in the sense of that doesn't fit being sent to an influencer, maybe because the product is too expensive to send, or the product isn't the kind of product that you just use once. You might have to use it multiple times to get the effect of it. Maybe the influencer doesn't want to do that, but they're interested in the business model, they're interested in the technology, they're interested in whatever it might be that you're marketing. Then it can be very worthwhile to work with influencers. Other channels that matter, referral channels, right? You can usually referral and affiliate. Referral channels are super, super important, especially if you have like high value links that bring you referrals. Affiliate channels are super important because you can generally set up an affiliate program for, a fairly cheap price. In some cases, you can set them up for free. Depends which software you use and if it fits your needs. But generally speaking, you can get an affiliate channel set up fairly easily and at a fairly low cost. Easily under $1,000 or $500. It can be way less than that. Again, you can find some that are for free, and you can of course set up your product on different affiliate networks, right? That'll promote your product, and affiliates will promote your product in exchange for a percentage of the sale, etc. But again, you can host your own affiliate program or use a white label service that lets you do that. So there's any number of options to use affiliate marketing, which is basically like a free marketing network extension, right? You don't really pay anything for it in the sense of, okay, you might pay for the setup, or you might pay some, commission fees upon sales, but it's the resellers that are doing all the advertising for you. It's the affiliates who are promoting your product or your service. So it's super powerful, and it's a very good way to get your sales up and running. And of course, all these things take a lot of time, but the time you invest into them, you get out of it usually a factor that is a multiple and not just a small percentage. So ideally, you put in $1 and you get $2 or more back, but really you want to be aiming for like $10 or $20 back, depending on what you're selling. For every dollar you put in, you want to be getting back 10, 20 bucks, whatever. And channels like email, right? Email is one of the key channels to this date. Sure, a lot of people ignore their emails, but everybody's got one. And when people sign up for things, they usually have to sign up with an email. And with that email, if you produce a really, really awesome and valuable piece of content, then that piece of content is valuable to the recipient, right? If it's targeted to what they want, if they have an interest in your product in the first place. And if you bring them value, send them a few emails in a row, they're just focused on valuable information. They're not focused on selling them anything. And then every once in a while, every third or fourth or fifth email, then you can send them something that has a little pitch in it. Buy this, here's a special offer, here's a special promotion. It can be limited time or whatever. Discount codes, coupon codes, whatever it might be. Make the valuable offer that is, exclusive somehow to the fact that they are email recipients of your newsletter. That way, They're not just getting something that they could just get by going to your website, right? I mean, yeah, you can do that occasionally by just telling them whatever great big deal is happening on the website. But if you customize the sale for the channel, namely email, you'll get a higher engagement rate, a higher open rate, a higher share rate, because the offer is specific to the channel. And if people know that when they sign up, they're not just going to get the latest deal that's on the front page of your site. They're going to get something specific to them as email subscribers. Then there's a higher chance that they will subscribe and actually open your emails, right? And engage in other ways. So again, any of those, PR, right? PR media exposure matters a significant amount. Paid social media, like we discussed, influencers, but there's other kinds of paid social media, paid posts or paid advertising on social media platforms. There's search engine ads, like we said. There's, ads in video, like in the middle of a YouTube video, super powerful place to advertise for the people who see it, obviously. I mean, that's one of the reasons people like to be monetized when they're content creators. Right? They want to have exposure to the network of people who watch YouTube videos because they know that, generally speaking, there's a decent conversion rate there. And advertisers like that fact, which is why they, seek to advertise to the YouTube audience. Just make sure that whatever you do with the outbound, that you are prepared for the inbound reply, right? Because the results of an outbound campaign can be fantastic, but if your outbound campaign is staggeringly convincing or successful, then, there's a very good chance that you'll be flooded with inbound requests. So you need to handle that. You need to have customer service in place. You have inbound sales in place. You need to have inbound answering systems in place, autoresponders, some kind of CRM database like a HubSpot or something, or any of those, just in order to handle the inbound inquiries, right? And sales inquiries, customer support after they've made purchases, and so on and so forth, right? So whatever you do with marketing, remember, it will impact your reputation. So you want to maintain the marketing as high level as possible and as high quality as possible in order to always maintain the highest possible reputation, and not just maintain it, but have your quality of customer experience be so good that whoever experiences it feels compelled on their own to tell someone about it, right? Friend, relative, whatever, colleague, right? Person that's treating them for something, whatever it is, service that they go to, wherever they're familiar and spending time or money or both, whoever they're engaging with on a regular basis, they feel the urge and they feel compelled to let everybody know about your product or your service and why it's so great, right? Because in the end, those people will be your most effective evangelizers. They will be the ones who carry your branding message beyond any scope you could possibly reach on your own. And the reason that they have that ability is because they will literally take your message as genuine customers and carry your message to other real people that you're not advertising to, that you're going to hear from through word of mouth. And word of mouth is by far one of the most powerful marketing channels that there is, right? Because we tend to listen to the circles that we're in, the people that we know, etc. We tend to be affected by that as human beings. So if your word of mouth marketing is spot on, then you will get usually very high conversion rates from that, or at least you will get very high value returns from that, because it's extremely effective and powerful, because people are highly influenced by their word of mouth. Influencers. Anyway, so those are just some of the useful channels for marketing and useful ways to raise funds for startups that are looking for quick access to capital in the near term, anywhere from 0 to 6 months or even a year. That's some of the ways you can do that with marketing. And of course, deals with brands or companies that can validate your brand are a major part of that. So do any kind of partnerships you can, especially if your partnerships are with big brands or big companies that other people know. And that way you can exploit that to your advantage in a positive way to let people know that your brand and your product and your service has a relationship with such and so professional organization. And that should help you grow your business with marketing. All right, take care.